talked about it yesterday, just that chip on your shoulder. Everyone talking about a neutral AFC Championship game, not even thinking about you guys. How much did that motivate you coming into this?
You better send those refunds.
I'm from the city where they gotta play us. Fuck a coin flip, it's time to pay up. Don't cross the middle, 21 in the cut. We ain't hiding from nobody, run and tell them it's up. I'm from the city where they gotta play us. Fuck a coin flip, it's time to pay up. Don't cross the middle, 21 in the cut. We ain't hiding from nobody, run and tell them it's up. Back-to-back champs, kings of the north with it. Thinking they can hang with us, still ain't jumped out the porch with it. Long bomb to chase every Sunday, watch him go and get it. Double up on him, then we gon' double down on T. Higgins. Then throw Boyd in the mix, now you really iffy. Every Sunday showing boys how to really gritty. They try to shuffle up the game on us, but they ain't icky. Flip the coin, kick the toe right to the go and get it. Never know what's gonna happen when Joe drop back. He get shiesty in the pocket, I get shiesty on the track. Nobody on the team all pro, that's all cap. Most all around team in the NFL, that's all fact. Ain't came across nobody yet that seem like they can hang with us. They said we couldn't be Buffalo, but see how we call they bluff. Underdogs every week, they keep on trying to label us. Put your money on us, even if Vegas don't favor us. No matter what, we really came up, now it's hard to fail. I dare you come across that middle, Von gon' ring your bell. I know we under they skin, them boys built frail. Eli Apple out there chirping like a next tail. You don't want Salmon Trey to come off them ends. Rita clogging up the middle like a big body Benz. Right behind them Logan and Pratt, the turnover twins. Jesse Bates in the backfield just to clean up the loose ends. We just drafted Cam and drafted Hill. Instant gratification every time that they on the field. We can't go back to what we was, cause that's the loser way. It's been hard to throw on us since we picked up a Woozier. It's like win after win, feel like we could really do it. Zach Taylor doing his thing for the city, I give it to him. And I bet Samaji will find a hole if you give it to him. Hayden Hurst don't need a hole, he just plan on running through him. Just hand it off to 28 and let him do the dash. Getting hit by BJ Hill probably feel like a car crash. Every week it seem like Lou digging deeper in his bag. And if the game on the line, all my faith and money match. I'm from the city where they gotta play us. Fuck a coin flip, it's time to pay up. Don't cross the middle, 21 in the cut. And we ain't hiding from nobody, run and tell them it's up. I'm from the city where they gotta play us. Fuck a coin flip, it's time to pay up. Don't cross the middle, 21 in the cut. And we ain't hiding from nobody, run and tell them it's up.
What do we say, dog? They gotta play us!
That's right, they gotta play us. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the show. I missed you guys. It's been a little while. What's going on? This is Bagels Talk with Strawberry Ice. I'm your host, the Iceman, Jeff Trunapole, and as always, I bring you sports from a West Side point of view right here at the home of Nelly Cruz. Yes, I'm going to the game tonight, so this show is going to end at 6:30, so if you want to get your comments in or questions, get them in early, because Game On is fired up. I'm fired up. I got to do some stuff here. As you know, this show and every show is brought to you by T Properties. T Properties, quality housing for quality people. Check out the website at www.tpropertiesllc.com for all your rental property management needs and your rental needs. Also, I am down here in this glorious place, the Ice Cave. The Ice Cave is brought to you by JackpotJoey9.com. So if you want to support the greatest quarterback in the NFL, his name is Joe Burrow. We like to call him Jackpot Joey. We got the hats, we got the banners, we got the beer, we got all kinds of stuff. Go to JackpotJoey9.com and get hooked up. You guys are awesome. I've been gone for a while. I'm up to 2,207 subscribers. That is awesome. I appreciate the loyalty, people. I really do. We're doing super chats. All right, that's enough of this. Let's get to the man. The reason that everybody says, you guys aren't here for me. You know, we are here for the man. We are here for one fired up dude. This is Game On.
Oh,
what up?
Let's go, baby. Let's go. I'm ready, man.
Hell yeah. All right, so OTA started today. It's not mandatory. But I think they're calling them OTAs today. I'm not sure. When does the mandatory one actually start? Is that
mandatory one starts next week? Actually,
next week. Okay, so
so
Jonah didn't have to show up this week.
Yes, that's correct. All voluntary right now. Next week we start with mandatory minicamp, so all players must show up unless they have a medical purpose where they're still rehabbing.
Right.
In the case of a Woozier. So
all right, so we were having some really good conversation off air, and I'm like, you know what? I can only do this till like 6:30 because I'm gonna go to the Reds. We're gonna start a little early. Well,
that's right.
Because I know I started at 5:30, but you couldn't get on here till 6. So anyway,
right.
We started. So one thing we were discussing, besides the Jonah Williams thing, because I mean, honestly, we can run this. I think he's going to show up. I don't see any reason why in the world he wouldn't show up. I don't see any reason why he's not going to be a right tackle. He's not going to lose his money. That's what he's playing football for. One, for the love of football, plus to get paid, and he wants to have a chance at another contract. So I think we got to put this one to bed pretty quickly, right? Jonah Williams is going to show up, don't you think?
It is in the best interest of Jonah Williams' career to show up next week, to give his best effort, and to play as hard as he can for the Cincinnati Bengals moving forward. Absolutely. And if he doesn't do that, people, he's hurting his bottom line. He's hurting the opportunity for him to be either re-signed here or elsewhere, getting a bag and potentially being, a tackle for the future. Like at that point, he becomes that Billy Price where you just don't know what you're getting. And some team would take a chance, but it's going to be a small chance at that.
And to be honest, I really think he's going to play really well right tackle. I mean, I don't have any facts on this or anything, but as long as he stays healthy, right tackle is supposedly easier than left tackle. So I think he's going to be fine. And honestly, I think this could be one of the best offensive lines we've had probably since Whitworth and those guys were blocking for us.
Yeah, I love this debate, right? So people are like, oh, it's going to be Collins. No, it's going to be Williams. No, it's going to be Carman. People, if all three are really good, that's amazing for the Cincinnati Bengals. What is one thing that we've desperately wanted? It's depth at the tackle position. Imagine if we would have had Williams back there, or if we would have had Carman back there, or if we would have had if we would have had Collins in there for that AFC Championship game.
Yeah, we would have won.
All three of them would have done a lot better than what you saw out of Adeniji.
Yeah, or Karras would have been nice to have too.
Right. So, I mean, like all of these guys, the depth being there, I don't see a situation where we're not right back in the Super Bowl and winning that game. Think about it. The last 2 years, Jeff, we have talked about this team and the offensive line and the struggles, and it's because of the depth concerns, right?
Yep.
In 21, the best offensive lineman was Jonah Williams. We had to bring in Hakeem Adeniji because XSF got hurt. Mm-hmm. And then at right tackle, we were starting practice squad player Isaiah Prince.
Yep.
Imagine if Riley Reef plays the entire year and doesn't get hurt, we win that Super Bowl. We're winning.
I mean, that's been a problem game on the last 2 years. Our offensive line is not healthy going into the play. People are like, oh, well, they've messed up the offensive line. Like, no, the starters would have been fine if they would have been there. But they were hurt. Or we didn't have the depth. And right now, I mean, I would like us to get another, backup center guard. But if you have Lyle Collins, you have Jackson Carman, and Jonah's your starter, they could be your backup guards. I mean, I don't know if they can play center or not. We might still be stuck.
You see, Cordell Volson is taking snaps at center right now.
Oh, is
just
he?
in
Okay.
case of an emergency.
All right.
Cool. That's pretty creative right there.
Yeah. So, I mean, there you go. So, I mean, like you said, we have the most depth we've ever had. Now, personally, I'll be shocked if Lael is ready. I think he's going to be on the PUP list at the beginning of the season. And that will be good because they can bring it back later in the season for somebody gets hurt, which, we're playing 17 games. We haven't made it a full season in the last 2 years on the offensive line without somebody getting hurt. So that's why I'm not, everybody's like, oh, you got to trade Jonah, you got to trade. I'm like, unless we're getting another offensive lineman, I'm not really willing to trade any of them, to be honest.
No, I agree. And really, like, the only really big question mark should be when Lael comes back, what happens with him if Williams is the starting right tackle, right? Mm-hmm. Do they compete for the job in that week 5? Mm-hmm. Or does he move to the O-line 6 role and then Carman takes the backup left tackle spot? Yeah. Either way, I love it. I absolutely love it. Right?
Either way, it's a good thing. Now, one thing I saw an article today. I didn't get to finish reading it all, but Orlando Brown was praising Cordell Volson of how good this guy can be. And a lot of Bengals fans are like, well, maybe we put LC at guard or maybe this. I'm like, Colson played the entire season last year. He's what was he, a 4th, 5th round pick? I can't remember exactly. But
he's a 4th round pick.
4th round pick who started every single game for the Bengals. And Ted Harris loves him. And so, I mean, I'm not sure why everybody's in such a hurry to replace Cordell, which when that wasn't the problem on our offensive line, it was the tackles.
Yeah, no, Cordell Volson, if you remember, week 1, going up against Cam Hayward, gave up 2 sacks, 7 pressures, right? Rest of the season, gave up, I think, 3 sacks, 30 pressures. Really, really good from a player coming in just for his first year playing left guard, right? Right. So I think moving forward, you're going to see more of what you saw for the rest of last season and the progression as the season went along. The only thing that, I really had a true concern with Volson is on the oversetting. Yeah. When he oversets and he gets into somebody else's lane.
Those things that you can fix that.
You can fix that, Jeff.
So you coach that out. Right.
Why are we talking about replacing that guy? Let's build the depth behind him, though, for sure.
Right.
Hopefully, Jackson Kirkland is the guy that I think that he's going to be, and potentially can make the team and help us out with the depth at guard.
Now you were on Cincinnati podcast a couple weeks ago, and you were just going crazy about which one was it Chuck Sizzle or was it the other wide receiver? I can't remember which one it was.
I went crazy on both of them, to be honest.
I know Chuck Sizzle is one because I have one. I love that nickname.
What's not to love about Chuck Sizzle, right? I mean, in space, the route running ability from him is so pure right now. It's so beautiful. Like the route running ability reminds me of like a Danny Amendola, just in right place, right time. But then you add that extra little flavor, the sizzle part, right? Once you turn up field, you bring a kick returner's mentality to open field space. Now you're cooking with grease. This is a really, really exciting time to be a Bengals fan with those two guys.
Just think about going 4 wide with him as your fourth.
Yeah. And think about. I always talk about the forgotten man. Remember Chris Evans in the
I talk about it all the time.
Week 13, Chiefs game, comes on the field, runs across, Burrow hits him, touchdown. Easy play, right? Who could be the forgotten man in this offense? Is it Charlie Jones? Is it Ayoshiba or Yoshi?
Yoshiba?
Let's call him Yoshi.
Yoshi.
Ayoshiba? Okay. But either one of those two guys with the speed, the capability in space, and basically that forgotten man, they're going to be more focused on Jamar Chase and T. Higgins if they put either one of these two guys over the middle of the field with Tyler Boyd on the field as well. And it's a nightmare for defenses. It's a nightmare for any linebacker to have to guard either one of those two guys.
Absolutely. Now, did you hear? Now, look. I'm still a Travis Kelce fan. I just wish he'd shut the hell up. I mean, I'm a Bearcat, all right? So I loved him in college. I had no clue he was going to be one of the best tight ends in football. But God, would you please shut up? Talk about how Kansas City's going to be a dynasty and he's going to get, Patrick Mahomes is going to get, more Super Bowls. Like, dude, you beat us one time in 2 years by 3 freaking points. Hello.
Yeah, I said this the other day. I said this the other day on Spaces, man. Those matchups are probably the greatest matchups of all time when you put them all together, right? Every single game goes down to a field goal between either team. Yep. It is like if you love football, you have to love Bengals Chiefs, and it has to be the best rivalry in football right now. Has to be easily, right? Dude, I'm a Bearcats alum too. I'm a huge Bearcats fan, and I'm right there with you. I remember when he threw up the UC after beating the Chargers.
I loved it.
On Thursday Night Football. That was amazing. Yeah. That was wonderful. But then I think he might have did it against us when he scored a touchdown against us.
He did.
Maybe in the following week. So I was like, I don't know how I feel about that. And then all the extra stuff. You know how Kelce is.
They went off Burrowhead. Burrowhead. Dude, Chiefs fans act like they blew us out. I'm like, oh my God. You beat us by 3 points. We beat you by 3 points last year. You beat us one time. That's what I keep saying. You beat us one time.
Yeah. The craziest part is they harnessed what the mayor said about them. Yeah. And that was like their focal point of, them talking shit after the game and them, retaliating against us. But there was nothing, dude. There was nothing that the players said bad about their players. Like our players were super complimentary. Even Burrow said that's the team to beat in the AFC.
Which it is. I mean, I'm not even saying it's not. They are the Super Bowl champs. They beat us. You got the chip. We haven't got it yet. You are the number 1 team in the AFC. I say that with all confidence and sincerity and everything. But God, it's just like, dude, it's just like they're just blowing us off. Like it's like we're nothing. We're not even in their league. I'm like, yes, we are. And dude, I don't know about you. Now it's calmed down a little bit until we're finally in June. But Chiefs fans just kept coming after me and other Bengals fans, and I'm like, you beat the Eagles to win the Super Bowl. You didn't beat the Bengals. You beat us to go to the Super Bowl.
Right.
But it's just unbelievable how much. And it's fun. Don't get me wrong. It's fun. I enjoy the crap out of this. And I love living in their heads. And I think we live in Travis Kelce's head because I think he's trying to talk himself into we're the best. Nobody's even close to us. Like, yeah, we're pretty damn close.
We're pretty damn close.
Yeah.
And
we're even
he
better.
said on the New Heights on the podcast his brother runs, the New Heights podcast. He was talking about how the defense and the communication of the defense and the lanes that the defense plays in, especially at the linebackers and the safeties of where they play, and how it's so difficult to find open space for the receiver or the tight end. And it makes it very difficult on a Patrick Mahomes. That's honestly why they struggled in 21, was the great communication from our defense and us staying disciplined in our lanes and him having to make big play after big play. And then in the second half, when the big plays weren't there, Lou Anarumo had this whole, first half will give you what you want. And then second half, we're shutting it down. You're getting like 60 yards and 2 picks.
Lou Dini, baby.
And this year, sad to say, but like I think that injury kind of helped slow down his game, made him go for more underneath, guys in space, guys that could get the first down, after the catch, and he didn't wait around, right? So, yeah,
I mean, it was frustrating. I was at the game. It was frustrating watching us lose, but it was just I'm not. Some people are like, "Oh, I can't watch that game. I'm so upset." Like, it's different for me because we were there. We were at that. We had every chance to win that game,
And think about this. 19 pressures. 5 sacks by their defense, right? And we're still this close to pulling it off. And I know after that first down, after that 23-yard first down from Burrow to Hayden Hurst, their entire fan base, our entire fan base, thought it was going to be a McPherson field goal to win. Yep. I know everybody was thinking that, right? Yep. Mm-hmm. So when it came that they were able to get the ball back and all of that, I think what it came down to was, okay, if we absolutely have our right tackle, we're winning that game. And we're winning the Super Bowl.
We got a right tackle and a left tackle now.
Right. So, people, this is the year. This absolutely is the year. There are no concerns on the offensive line as far as I'm concerned. As long as everybody stays healthy, we're good to go. It's Super Bowl time.
And one thing I'll say about this, and we've talked about this on Twitter and stuff, and it's nothing against Joe Mixon or anything, but I just assumed that they were going to not necessarily cut him, but restructure his contract. But we're past June 1st. He's still there. He still get his money. So that makes me think, now we're all, because I've said it, that I don't think they're going to keep La'el and Jonah on the team, but they kept Mixon and his money. Why? I mean, they might just keep them all because they can fit everybody under the salary cap right now. It all fits. They don't have to get rid of any of them. They can keep them.
And that I don't know if you heard, but Elise Jesse is releasing an interview through The Athletic, talking about Mixon, potential pay cut, whatever. But I don't think that it's coming. I honestly don't.
I don't think it. I mean, I thought it was, but it might not be now. It might
not be. It might not be. The Bengals could work it out to where they could extend Joe, extend T, extend Logan, and still be able to either, cut money elsewhere or, maybe they do something different where they don't give him a pay cut, but they give him bonus. I mean, they convert that salary to bonus money.
Right.
And then they just give it to him up front and alleviate some of that cap.
I know somebody asked in the comments there any word on Burrow's contract, and I haven't heard anything. I know they had the Joe Burrow Foundation golf outing this past weekend, so I know that was a huge success, but I've heard nothing about the contract or anything.
Yeah, all you need to know that is, typically when quarterbacks get extensions, it's usually in camp prior to season, so it's right around that July time.
Almost always the way the Bengals do it.
Yeah,
it's always like right before the season.
Unfortunately, people, we're not going to be the first, and we're probably not going to be the last, because after Burrow gets his great extension, and everybody's like, "Oh my gosh, look at all that upfront cash! Oh my gosh, look at those figures and those numbers." Mahomes is going to come in right behind them and have even better numbers. So
probably,
who cares? Yeah. As long as we get the deal done, that's all that should matter to Bengals.
Well, the thing is, too, that I like, and I do think this has something to do with why it's taking so long. I think Joe legitly wants to keep T and Jamar here. So I've heard there's been too many people say the same thing, that he's trying to structure it so he gets his money, but there's also money left over for the other guys too. So that's the. But I don't think anything's happened with T's contract until Joe's gets done first. That's just my thoughts.
Yeah, the T. Higgins situation is really, I think, a fun one. I think the way that the Bengals could get ahead of that is give T a 3-year extension. And that way, the Burrow contract, he has 3 years before the big cap sets in. And you would extend Jamar the following season, right? So you'd have 2 on Jamar, 2 on Joe, because you got to think about the 5th-year option too in this, people. So we've got really 3 years to parse out. And that way, Higgins hits all 3 of his years before you hit a heavy Burrow and before you hit a heavy Chase. And that's the way that they could do it. And they could also do it by guaranteeing those first 2 years upfront cash.
Now,
I think they'll do it with Burrow, and I think they'll do it with Higgins.
Now, the other thing, too, is kind of gets, I think, swept under the rug is Logan Wilson. His contract's up after this year. Because, I mean, look, I'll just say it. The first 3 picks of that 2020 draft was pretty damn good. There's Joe Burrow, T. Higgins, and Logan Wilson. That's pretty good. But their contracts are all coming up. So Logan Wilson is another one. Now, I was pretty confident we were going to re-sign Logan. But now that they re-signed Pratt, I mean, I want to sign Logan. I do. We're not going to be able to keep everybody. I mean, Jesse Bates and Von Bell are proof of that. I'd hate to lose Logan. I don't want to lose him.
Right.
But I don't know. Where are you at on that? I mean, do you think that Logan's here, gone?
I love you touching this point because I mean, we've been talking about this extensively in the spaces. I don't think the Bengals are going to lose I don't think they'll lose both of ADG and Logan Wilson. They're keeping one of them.
Right.
And
I agree with that, yes.
It's their preference to keep Logan. He makes them a better defense when he's on the field.
He does.
He can cover. He can play, the green dot. He can play the middle linebacker position. He's very communicative. Him and Pratt are probably a top 3 linebacker tandem in the league if you really objectively take a look at it. Both of those guys. The only thing, the thing that the Bengals have working in their favor in that contract extension is Logan hasn't been healthy every season. He's had 2 seasons where he's missed some games. In today's NFL, that will lower the amount of money that they're willing to extend you for. I still see him like right in between that 10.5 to 12.5 range. I think that's right where they're going to live with Logan. ADG, because of what happened with Pratt, is probably going to be elsewhere. After he's going to have some opportunities where he'll step in, he'll play big. Yeah. And then he's probably going to go elsewhere and be a starting linebacker.
I can see that. Now, this is something you and me were talking about off air. And Rowdy brought it up here. Is DJ Reader, it has to be a priority as well, which I agree. Now, we were kind of talking about this. It's been brought up that Trey Henderson could be a cap casualty next year because of drafting Myles Murphy and because they don't have anybody to replace DJ. Now, one thing you just brought up about Logan and his injuries, DJ's had the same problem. He missed the whole season in 2020. It was healthy in 21. Missed a couple games last year. So that's another problem as far as DJ getting his money. He was like one of the highest paid nose tackles in the league. Now, I think he's dropped back down. There's guys passing now, and they're starting to pay more money for that position. Right. So my question is for you and to everybody in the chat. Who's more important, DJ or Trey Henderson? And does that depend on what Myles Murphy does?
I think it's got to be DJ. When we talk about DJ, he is the anchor of the defense. He's the person that opens up those lanes for the linebacker's job to be a lot easier. They're able to make those tackles on running backs. It's seamless, and he's so elite at getting off of blocks and getting to the running back or getting to the receiver if it's a sweep or whatever it might be. He's just so elite at getting off that center block and making the play. So I absolutely think that DJ, I was saying before, and I have to be fully transparent, I was saying that I thought that this could be the final year for DJ in Cincinnati just because of the age, 30 years old. That's the other thing, because I thought, the whole Von Bell situation, I thought the Bengals would never let Von Bell go.
Right, I thought he was staying.
So... And I think that the Bengals like Tufele. I think they want him to stick around. You also have to consider Tupal's coming off his contract next year. So I do think that the Bengals will prioritize DJ It's the question is, where does the money come in? For
Right.
me, it's probably anywhere between that 15 to 17.5 range.
Right.
If you didn't know, Vita Vea makes 17.5
Mm-hmm.
per year, and he is the highest paid nose tackle in the league. DJ Reader's
Well,
probably
DJ
gonna be
was
right
when they
behind him.
signed him.
Yeah, exactly. But like I told people on Spaces, yesterday's price is not today's price.
Right, exactly.
DJ is going to say,
Exactly.
hey, when I've been healthy, I helped you win the Titans game.
Dude, if you guys ever go back and watch the Titans playoff game 2 years ago, DJ destroyed them. I mean, every play, DJ Reader. I mean, I even told DJ that at practice, a couple weeks after the game, I went back and rewatched it. I was like, dude, you played awesome. And damn it, he better make a Pro Bowl this year or sometime soon. It's freaking ridiculous that he hasn't made one. I've been banging this drum for 2 years. Where's the disrespect? Why does DJ Reader get so much disrespect on this defense? Because honestly, he's the straw that stirs the drink for this defense. You can see how the defense was when he was gone last year. It was still good, but it wasn't the same.
Dude, DJ means so much for this defense. I think he was the very first signing. He was the signing where, I don't know if you remember, but when that came out, I remember Goodberry tweeted out, "Get the fuck out of here." Like, he couldn't even believe it.
Right.
I couldn't even
It's
believe
like,
it.
we signed who?
Wait,
What?
When was the last time the Bengals paid that amount of cash for that type of player? And coming out, DJ, he could get to the quarterback as a pass rusher. He was really good in run defense. And he came into a situation where this is a very physical division. We need that type of player to anchor our defensive line and be the focal point. So I got to believe that the organization would prioritize that. If it's not DJ, it's going to be a high draft pick plus a veteran signing in the offseason to replace him.
Yeah, I just they don't have anybody. I know they like Vita Vea. I know they like him, but he's not DJ. They don't have that guy to replace him. I mean, I love Trey Henderson. I do. I think Myles Murphy there's the reason they drafted him. We have Joseph Osai. You have Cam Sample, which I know Cam Sample plays inside too, but he also plays outside. There are multiple guys that can replace Trey Henderson. Now, Trey Henderson, if he comes and has double-digit sacks this year,
it's a bag. It's a bag. He's gone.
Right.
Forget about it.
Which, I mean, that's fine. Go get the sacks. Get us our ring. Go get your money somewhere else.
Right. 13 and a half sacks this year. Go make your bag.
Right.
You know, and the Bengals will happily, like, the dead cap next year for him is 2.5. And you can even do June 1st on that, parse that out over 3 periods. And so, you know, that's minimal dollars. Nobody cares about that. You don't care. I mean, the Bengals this year, they spent $1 million in dead cap money. I mean, it's insane how flexible we are.
The old Bengals would never do that. So
never. So, that is in the best interest of the team. That if Myles Murphy gives you at least 6.5, 7 sacks this year, and Osai Rex, he goes 9.
Dude, I'm telling you, I think Osai's breaking out this year. He was coming. Look, everybody remembers the last play of the AFC Championship game. But before that, dude was balling out. He was really the only one getting pressure on Patrick Mahomes consistently.
What if I told you, Jeff, that Osai is the Hendrickson replacement and Murphy is the Hubbard replacement?
I agree with you. Yep.
Because Murphy, with the run defense and the ability to keep contained with the quarterback, is so prevalent, and it's so Sam Hubbard, but it's just Hubbard to the next level, right? And Osai, being what he is, can cover, can move well in space, coast to coast, extra effort. You know, you see that speed there, that speed capability that maybe Trey Hendrickson doesn't possess. He to me is the Hendrickson replacement. I think Myles Murphy going to replace.
And that's
Hubbard
what I think is so smart about what the Bengals are doing. And I said this, and my buddy Porkchop has said this, that we thought this draft was going to be defensive heavy. I didn't know it would be this defensive heavy, but it's going to be like that for a while, I think, because like I said, we said this on the show a couple of times. They can't pay everybody. They want to pay Joe. They want to pay T. They want to pay Jamar. You know, they want to keep some guys on defense. They're not going to be able to keep all of them because there's so many free agents they signed. So their contracts are going to come up. Plus, there's this sweet spot that the Bengals like from like 25 to 28 You get beyond that, they're kind of, you go on and get your bag somewhere else.
Right.
That's kind of, I mean, honestly, that's kind of where they're at the window. And these guys are getting, some of these guys are getting closer to that 28-29 than they are to 25. So
I think a couple of things that this organization is changing in terms of philosophy, how they view a running back and where they, how they use a running back. I think it's going to be a running back by committee moving forward. I think you've seen that now with Chase Brown coming in. He's going to have some touch this year. Mixon's going to have a little bit less. He's going to be used a little bit more in the pass game, but they're going to prioritize spending less money at the running back position. More focal point in spending money on the wide receivers and the offensive line, right? The wide receivers and the offensive line. And then if you really, really want to get into the nitty gritty, I think DJ Reader has to be a focal point on defense in terms of extension.
My son is being a dork right now. This is my son. Son of ice. He's being a dork right now. He's completely kidding. If he's not, I'm gonna go smack him because we're gonna have time to the Reds game here.
Jeff, go take a look. Go take a look at the 3 stats that I posted the other day on Burrow. There's one on from behind. There's one on third downs, and there's one on +or-7 in the fourth quarter closing. Yeah, they're insane. Like it absolutely
send this to me. Sometimes I can't always find them. Send them to me.
It absolutely encapsulates what type of a quarterback he was. And when I looked at Mahomes, they were like night and day different. One of them was really like Burrow's really good in fourth quarter, +or-7, and Mahomes isn't so great. Right. But Mahomes is really good from behind, and Burrow he's still great, but it's not like oh my gosh, you know what I mean? Right. So, but when you look at these, you're gonna be like, man, that really just speaks to Joe Burrow as a quarterback.
Exactly. That's why we call him Jackpot. Game on. I appreciate you. I gotta get to the Reds game. I'm gonna go watch Dela Cruz. I'm fired up.
Ellie Dela Cruz. 2 home run night tonight. How about it?
You heard it here.
How about it?
Game on, calling it.
How about it?
Tell everybody where they can follow you at.
All right, you can follow me at Game On J Money. I also run podcasts on Monday and Friday, or I should say Twitter Spaces, Monday and Friday. And Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I do them on my way home from work. So catch me there.
I hang out every once in a while. I usually just like listening.
Yeah, I love it. I love it, man. Keep coming back. Keep coming back.
Appreciate you, man. Who day?
All right, take care.
All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. Game On is awesome. Go check him out on Spaces. Go check him out on his Twitter. I'm so happy to be back. I will be back tomorrow. I actually got 3 shows lined up this week. Just been a lot of stuff going on. Redoing my kitchen. My daughter graduated high school. A lot of stuff. I've just been so busy, and it just I don't know. It's been busy to be able to get up. I got 3 shows this week, so I'll be back tomorrow at my regularly scheduled time, live at 5:30. So let me get to the Facebook groups that let me live stream, and I appreciate every single one of them. They are Who Day Nation, Who Day Legion, Radical Reds, Bearcat Ruggers, the Ohio State Bucknuts, the Ice Bar. Then you can follow me on all my social media platforms, all under Strawberry Ice. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Twitter handle is at Jeff A. Trunable. TikTok is at Iceman90. YouTubers, you guys are awesome. I've been gone I've done like 1-2 shows in a month. You guys are still here for me. I love you. 2,207 subscribers. That is awesome. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors about Bengals Talk with Strawberry Ice. And like I said, I changed the name of Bengals Talk with Strawberry Ice. If you guys want to talk Reds, we can talk Reds. Just when I talk Reds, not as many people watch it. So it's your guys' show. I'll do what you guys want. You want to talk some Reds? Give me some Reds topic. If you want to keep talking Bengals, we can do that too. Either way, I'll be back tomorrow. Ready? Say it with me. That's your sports, baby. See ya!
Talked about it yesterday, just that chip on your shoulder. Everyone talking about a neutral AFC championship game, not even thinking about you guys. How much did that motivate you coming into this?
You better send those refunds.
I'm from the city where they gotta play us. Fuck a coin flip, it's time to pay up. Don't cross the middle, 21 in the cut. We ain't hiding from nobody, run and tell them it's up. I'm from the city where they gotta play us. Fuck a coin flip, it's time to pay up. Don't cross the middle, 21 in the cut. We ain't hiding from nobody, run and tell them it's up. Back-to-back champs, kings of the north with it. Thinking they can hang with us, still ain't jumped out the porch with it. Long bomb to chase every Sunday, watch him go and get it. Double up on him, then we gon' double down on T. Higgins. Then throw Boyd in the mix. mistakes, now you really iffy. Every Sunday showing boys how to really gritty. They try to shuffle up the game on us, but they ain't icky. Flip the coin, kick the toe, Roger to go and get it. Never know what's gonna happen when Joe drop back. He gets shiesty in the pocket, I get shiesty on the track. Nobody on the team all pro, that's all cap. Most all around team in the NFL, that's all fact. Ain't came across nobody yet that seem like they can hang with us. They said we couldn't be Buffalo, but see how we call they bluff. Underdogs every week, they keep on trying to label us. Put your money on us, even if Vegas don't favor us. No matter what, we really came up, now it's hard to fail. I dare you come across that middle, Von gon' ring your bell. I know we under they skin, them boys built frail. Eli Apple out there chirping like a next tail. You don't want Salmon Trey to come off them ends. Rita clogging up the middle like a big body Benz. Right behind them Logan and Pratt, the turnover twins. Jesse Bates in the backfield just to clean up the loose ends. We just drafted Cam and drafted Hill. Instant gratification every time that they on the field. We can't go back to what we was, cause that's the loser way. It's been hard to throw on us since we picked up a woozy. It's like win after win, feel like we could really do it. Zach Taylor doing the same for the city, I give it to him. And I bet Samazi will find a hole if you give it to him. Hayden Hurst don't need a hole, he just plan on running through him. Just hand it off to 28 and let him do the dash. Getting hit by BJ Hill probably feel like a car crash. Every week it seem like Lou digging deeper in his bag. And if the game on the line, all my favorite money match. I'm from the city where they gotta play us. Fuck a coin flip, it's time to pay up. Don't cross the middle, 21 in the cut. And we ain't hiding from nobody, run and tell them it's up. I'm from the city where they gotta play us. Fuck a coin flip, it's time to pay up. Don't cross the middle, 21 in the cut. And we ain't hiding from nobody, run and tell them it's up.